Like I say, good morning. Good morning to all the brothers and sisters in social media land. Oh, good morning. Good morning. This is indeed a great day to be alive. It's probably about 5:30 in Kansas City, Missouri. And we are on day number 5. Day number 5 of the no flesh and blood. That means the no eating of animals' flesh. No chicken, no steak, no lobster tails, no ox tails, no fish, no turkey, no salmon croquettes, nothing. So we have given up all of the things that we eat that have to be killed in order for us to eat it. Everything that has to be killed and then fire put to it. We have been fasting for 14 days. And our beloved Elder Emmanuel sent me a message on yesterday. And he wanted me to explain to some of the brothers and sisters the purpose for this fast. And the purpose of this fast don't so much have anything to do with your diet or with what you're going to eat. The purpose of the fast is so that we can put our perspective up against the Most High's perspective, and then we can see ourselves. He said one of the greatest things that are going to come out of a fast is going to be a self-examination. That means that when you are fasting and your mind is focused on giving up something that you got a desire for, like in this particular case, you're going to have a taste for some fried chicken. You're going to have a taste for some steak. You're going to have a taste for all of these things that you eat on a daily basis. And every time you go without those things, there's a spirit that is going to come and challenge you to fail. 14 days, that's a long time to go without eating no chicken. That's a long time to go without eating no steak. Well, now you're going to understand free will, because what you're going to see is that voice is coming from somewhere. Either that voice is coming from God, who you made the commitment to, or it's coming from Satan. You see? And it's at that moment that you get to exercise your free will on whether or not you're going to be obedient to the Most High. Now, while we are in the midst of those challenges, every time we choose the Most High's way and give up our own way, it brings about a level of suffering upon us. But the Spirit comes in and empowers us so that suffering only lasts temporarily. And then what that does is it begins to help us to see ourselves for who we really are. Frail people, weak people, timid people, people that have a desire in their heart but cannot rule their spirit enough to carry these things out. When we can start seeing ourselves in that condition, it causes us not to be preoccupied with the condition that my brother is in. And so what he wanted me to do is explain that to some of the brothers and sisters so that they can understand that the first part of the fast is dealing with the self-examination and a challenging of oneself as it relates to being obedient to the things of the Most High. You see? Now, one of the reasons why the Most High said, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, is because we were killing the creation and eating them. But at the same time, you had the beloved brother, Paul, that came along and said, okay, if the Most High desires mercy and not animal sacrifice, then let's flip it around. He said, present yourself as a living sacrifice. Let us attempt to do to ourselves what we done to the animals. He said, present yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to the Most High, which is our reasonable service. And when we start fasting, now we can understand why the Most High desires mercy. Because when you start fasting and you start sacrificing yourself, then there is a level of torment that comes with that. And so when we are trying to sacrifice and we fail at the sacrifice that we are making to the Most High, now we see ourselves constantly in need of God's mercy. Many people will not learn the lessons, the valuable lessons that the Most High desire for us to learn, because we don't want to make no sacrifices on anything. You see? And some people try to make these things as though they're all about meat, but they're not all about meat. And when I'm saying that they're not all about meat, I'm talking about they're not all about the fruit and the vegetables. You see? But some people try to make it like it's all about the fruits and the vegetables. And it's not. What it is about self-examination. Because you ain't never going to see yourself for who you are until you desire to give up something. And this is a beautiful morning. This is a great day to be alive. I'm up at 5:30, 5 o'clock this morning. Just when one of the pacts that I made with myself is that I would do my best to try and not lay in the bed no longer. At the point the Most High opened up my eyes, then that's the point that I will rise up out of bed. And I have never been up at this early in the morning in my life, just naturally on my own. There were times in my life that I would have to get up, you know what I mean, and go to work early. Times in my life to where when I was young, I had to get up and go to school or something. You might get a phone call. I had to get up this early or go to the hospital or something of that nature. But to simply just get up when the Most High opened up your eyes, that have never happened in the history of my life. You see, I know that there are some changes that are taking place because of the things that you're giving up. When you start giving up things, then God replaces them. You see? So when the Bible starts saying things like, delight thyself in the Lord, and he shall give unto thee the desires of thy heart. That means that when we start trying to delight ourselves in the Most High, and we start trying to accept some of the challenges that our brothers and sisters are putting on us, and we start at least attempting it, and we start delighting ourselves in the Most High said, now I will give unto you the desires of your heart. Now that don't mean that he's Santa Claus, like one of the old preachers used to say. What it does mean is that now, because of what you're giving up, he will now begin to extract or take away the old desires out of your heart that you never could overcome. He'll start taking those desires out of your heart. The desire to be up all night smoking and getting high and kicking it. He'll take those desires out of your heart, and then he'll give unto you new desires that lead you in the ways of his righteousness. Because of what we're sacrificing, there's an impartation of the Spirit that now comes to start dealing with us for where we at. How else are we going to get better? How else are we ever going to have an understanding? You see, because all of these things that we teach and all these things that we preach about, they're not ours. They're not because we just learn them in the book. They come by way of the Spirit. And so Elder Armaniel wanted me to make you understand that the first part of that fast, when you start fasting, you start trying to sacrifice something. You know what you're literally doing is you're literally asking the Most High to show you who you are in him. Help you to see in yourself what he sees. When you look in the mirror, when we look in the mirror, we don't see what the Most High sees, because we don't fully understand what the Most High put in us. But when we give ourselves up, when we get that fleshly part of ourselves up, the Most High causes us to be able to see that inner part of us that is connected to him. And And that's exciting. So I wanted to come over here and encourage the brothers. We are on day number 5. Somebody have made it one day. Somebody else may have made it 2 days. Somebody else it don't matter whether you can make 1 day through or whether you can make 14 days through. It don't even matter if you don't complete a full day. Somebody say, I'm going to start. I'm at least try. But you got past breakfast and you couldn't get no farther than lunch. Well, if you got past breakfast, you are already experiencing the pressure that comes with sacrifice. And if you crack by lunchtime, then that means that the pressure was too great. But one thing that's for sure, you felt it and you understood that it was real. You heard those voices that was telling you, man, I can't go a whole day. I got to have something. If you made it all the way thus far, you've heard those voices as you at work and your coworker come and sit down next to you with her slice of pepperoni pizza. Or as you riding home and you can't help but to pass Church's Chicken, Burger King, McDonald's. When I first started that 40-day no flesh and blood fast, those restaurants and all of those things, the scents, the smells, everything was completely magnified. You know what that was? I could hear the voices speaking as I passed each restaurant. And you can hear the voices speaking. They speaking through billboard advertisement. They speaking through the scent. They speaking through the aroma. They speaking through the facility. They speaking through other people that's riding around, that's eating out of the boxes. They speaking through all of these things. But there is another voice that's speaking. You want a challenge. You want to fast. You can do it. You can succeed. Deny yourself, and I'm going to bless you. You're doing this for me. You see, that is the point to where we have a right to exercise our free will. And that's what Elder Amaniel want our brothers and sisters to understand as well as the Most High, because those instructions that come from our elders, they do come directly from the Most High, because the Most High give us our elders to lead the way. And when we start really looking at it for what it is, he said, tell them that the first part of that fast is dealing with self-examination, coming face to face with their own wickedness, with our own unrighteousness, with our own personal rebellion. He said this is the purpose for the fast, because it shows you who you are up against the Most High. He said, but the second part of the fast, help them to understand that the second part of the fast is dealing with the cleansing of the temple of the Most High, because God is not going to dwell in an unclean temple. But we don't always know what it means to have an unclean temple. He says, so tell them that they're cleansing their body from sickness and from disease, because whosoever can eat dead things is a consumer of death, and he will bring diseases into his mortal body. So he said, tell them that the second part of that fast is cleansing their bodies from all the contamination and all of the poisons and all of the toxins that we have built up in our system while we drank soda pop and ate candy and ate all of this flesh and blood that attaches itself to our organs, to our kidneys, and to our livers. He said that when we start going into that fast to where we're only eating the things that God prescribed for us in the garden, he said we're cleansing our body. But the first thing we get to come face to face with is ourselves. You see? Because I don't know nobody that have ever been on a fast that they just levitated through. Fasters come to challenge you. So when we fast in areas that we have struggles in. You see? And the fast, not only does the fast help you to see yourself, it also opens your eyes Like we said, it helps you see your own wickedness. So that fast open your eyes and show you, you know what? You might be fasting on the flesh and blood, but look at these cigarettes over here you still smoking. How you going to deal with that? So the fast, the spirit starts showing you different things. Yeah, you fasting, but you know, you got to stop this fornicating. You see, that fast bring you closer to the Most High. You fasting, but you know, you still got unforgiveness in your heart towards your brother. During this fast, the spirit come in and he starts shining the spotlight on all of those weak areas of our life. So when we start looking at fast, we're talking about having the spirit of humility and a sincere heart and a pure motive and a genuine motive, because we want to see our life as God sees our life. So when God deals with the fasting in the book of Isaiah, some people had got caught up in fasting just so that they could have an appearance that they're fasting, an outward expression of being covered with sackcloth and ashes and a fixing of the face to make one feel like, oh, he's fasting. Oh, look at how weak he lived. But the Most High said, is not this the fast that that I have chose you, that you would loose the bonds of the poor, that you would take care of the widow, that you have mercy upon the fatherless, that you would do good to your brother, that you would clothe the naked, that you would visit the sick, that you would feed the poor. But see, we can't do none of these things unless the Spirit shine the spotlight and let us see ourselves as God sees us. And that's the purpose of the fast. Brothers and sisters, they'll talk about it. Oh, well, you know, the Levitical law, the this, the that, the this, the that. They'll talk about it. But they don't have the courage to enter into a challenge to put these things down. Because if we did enter into the challenge with one mind, the Most High will be showing us all the same thing about ourselves. And when he starts showing us where we line up with him, it helps us to be able to do what he say. Have compassion on our brothers. Have compassion. He said, I will show mercy to those that have shown mercy. And to those that have shown mercy, that mercy will override my judgment. Because every man going to be brought before the Most High, and every man going to be judged by the Most High. He said, but mercy shall triumph over judgment. And since every man needs God's mercy, because he have the blood of his father Adam running through his vein, because every man needs his mercy, he said there ain't no greater thing for you to do than to show your brothers and your sisters mercy. Since you're going to be judged, I will show him mercy that have shown others mercy. But I will judge the one without mercy that have shown no mercy. It's going to be hard for you to show mercy to your brothers and sisters if you never see yourself in the way that the Most High sees you. When we see ourselves in the same light that the Most High sees us in, we come to understand that all brothers and sisters that have life in them are literally identical twins. From the standpoint, you talking about blood brothers. We're identical twins because we have the blood of a falling father running through our veins. No matter what level of life we on, every last one of us are twins and triplets and quadruplets and all of that. Because we have the blood of our fallen, sinful father running through our veins. And so I want to come on here and encourage the brothers. This is indeed a great day to be alive. Make the best of it. Brothers and sisters that may have accepted the challenge, there are some brothers and sisters that ain't even heard about the 14-day challenge. And we are on day number 5 now. You can come riding in on a white horse on day number 5 and say, I missed the first 5 days, but I'm going to ride these 9 days on in I'm going to ride these 9 days on in, and I'm going to see what it's going to be like. I want to see if brothers that he's talking about, I'm going to be able to hear voices that I ain't never heard before. I'm going to see if he really talking what he talking about when he said, I'm going to see things that my eyes ain't never seen before. I want to see if that brother know what he talking about when he said that my body, I'm going to be able to hear my body tell me, okay, boy, it's time to go to the restroom. Okay, boy, it's time to do this. Okay, boy, it's time to chop it up. I want to see if what that brother is telling me is really going to happen. I want to see what that brother is talking about free will, because I've been exercising free will all my life. But reality is, ain't none of us been exercising free will. We've been up under Satan's control the whole time. The only time you're going to see what free will is when you present yourself as a living sacrifice and you give up something where you'll hear voices. Come on, boy. You know, they made you nervous. You know you got to smoke that cigarette. When we start fasting, right now we fasting the flesh and blood. That's the first thing. Because when Adam and Eve fell into sin, he said, the day you eat of this tree, you shall surely die. He said, and their eyes were darkened. We're starting right there. Because we want our spirit man to live again. And we want the eyes of our understanding to be enlightened. Why? Because when they fell in sin and their eyes was darkened, they began to do all sorts of things that they didn't know was against God, just like we do. So when the Most High by His Spirit begin to open up our eyes again, now we can see those things that we do that are harmful to our body. We can see those things that we do that are against God. We can see all of those things right there. And so it makes us aware of other things that we need to give up as well. So, but let's be encouraged. I hope that I made that clear. I believe I made it clear as I could make it. Yeah, and as I was saying, most brothers and sisters ain't never exercised their free will. We're only gonna exercise our free will when we're challenged with certain things. So, and we're all riding in the same boat. We're all riding in the same boat, you know. So, well, don't mind that, Brother Tim. Don't mind that, Brother Tim. Let brothers gonna do what brothers gonna do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the whole purpose for the fast, so that we can understand that there are some things that all of us have been guilty of. All of us have been guilty of doing the same thing. You know what I mean? It might be in different ways, but all of us have been guilty of doing the same thing. And that's one of the great, like we said, that's the great purpose for the fast, is so that the Most High can make us understand that. And that way we understand how to deal with all of the brethren and all of the sisters, you know, through looking at our own self. When we look at ourselves through the eyes of the Most High, then we understand that, you know what, I'm the problem. My brothers ain't the problem. I'm the problem. And even though I'm the one doing the lesson, I can't look at the brothers and sisters. When I'm looking at myself through the eyes of the Most High, He always showing me, you the problem. You the problem. You the problem. Because if you ever get the strength to climb over this hurdle, then you're going to become a blessing to your brother. Because now he going to have hope that he can do the same thing. So all praises, all honor, all glory. That's right. Nothing like the power of agreement. So I want to come on here and encourage the brothers and sisters that have accepted that 14-day, no flesh and blood. And I want to show you something else that the Most High showed me the other day. Because a lot of our people out here have put titles on everything. So they say if you don't eat animals' flesh, they call you a vegan. If you don't partake of no dairy products, they call you a vegetarian, you know. And then the vegans is like, you know, now you have vegan restaurants and everything. And oh man, did you taste this? Oh man, this tastes like steak. Oh man, they made this. Oh, it tastes just like salmon croquettes. Oh man, this is vegan, this is plant-based, and it tastes just like fish. Let me tell you something. what the Most High showed me. He said, you better go and make them brothers and sisters understand that the fruits and the vegetables, when I told them that they can eat everything that come from the trees, it don't taste like no animal's flesh. He said, it tastes like what I gave you. It tastes like what it's supposed to taste. He said, but make them understand that it was Satan who desired to be like me, that came along and took my precious creation and found a way to make them taste like the fruits and the vegetables and the herbs that come from the trees. He said the fruits and the vegetables and the seeds and the herbs do not taste like animals' flesh. He said Satan, the mimicker of my goodness, caused my creation to begin to taste like the things that I have given my people to eat for their sustenance. So we have it backwards. And when people try to tell me that, hey, you know what, this plant-based, it tastes like a burger. No, it don't. Satan have made this animal's flesh to taste like the things that God had given us to eat, because we had our diet long before Satan ever caused Adam and Eve to fall into sin and start eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And through the tree of knowledge of good and evil, Satan had taught our forefathers how to take God's creation, slaughter them, and then make them taste like the thing that God had gave us in the beginning, so that we as a people could remain in sin and shame up under the sin of our fallen father. Now, I don't know who can comprehend that, but I can't make that no plainer. So next time somebody try to tell you that the people that's dealing with fruits and vegetables and creating foods and all that, next time they try to tell you or make you feel bad because, well, you know what, you still trying to make it taste like meat, you make sure you make them understand, no, we ain't trying to make this animal's flesh taste like meat. No, it's Satan that took the animal's flesh and made it taste like the fruits and the vegetables of these trees that God gave us. So you ain't eating the real thing. You see, you got a cheap copy, because the animal's flesh wasn't designed to taste like that. It was a trick and a game that had been played. But we are eating the original diet that the Most High had given us. And if you trick and you eat the cheap copy all of your life and remain in sin, because thou shalt not kill, and you become a partaker of the shedding of innocent blood. You see, if people really understood that Satan killed the creation and then made it to mimic what God had naturally given us, when you come to understand all the vastness, when you look at a flesh and blood diet, that diet don't go that far. I mean, how much can you eat? You can eat some oxtails, you can eat some cow, you can eat some lamb, you can eat some fish. But when you start talking about all the different fruit trees, all the different seeds that come out, all the different herbs and all the different everything that's on the earth that God gave us, the taste buds will have an explosive, unlimited supply of goodness on their lips. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. So peace and blessings to all you brothers and sisters. Hallelujah.